Hello and welcome to Bear Care Corner. My name is Andrea and we're going to be going over some resident updates here on the program. I'm live here in the medical room at Happily Ever Esther Farm Sanctuary in Sheffield, Ontario, Canada. Let me know where you are tuning in from in the comments. Let me know what the weather's like where you are. We're having a really nice few mild days because I feel like the whole summer has been a heat wave so far. It does go back up soon, but the residents are really enjoying the cooler temperatures and not having too much heat. All the fans are off in the barns right now, so that has been a special treat. Hi, Gail from Long Island, New York. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions during the program, let me know in the comments and I will be answering them live. And we're just going to get started with some resident updates. I have Escalade here. If you didn't see from our Instagram stories yet, he is back on pasture, which is amazing news for him. He was very lame for a few weeks and he was on some stronger pain meds for a little while. He was also on stall rest with BJ and we brought them back to pasture yesterday. He's doing super well. He has not had any soreness in his feet again. Enrique just showed up. He just woke up from a nap. He was sleeping in the office. He's back to his regular pain medication, not the strong stuff anymore, which is great. And as long as he's doing well on pasture, he can stay out on pasture. But if he gets sore again, he might need to come back on stall rest. So he is doing amazing. He is really enjoying being back outside. We'll keep you posted. Hopefully he stays feeling well and we don't have to bring him back in. But if we do, he has a little spot in the arena where him and BJ can come and stay. Hi, Sylvia. Thanks for tuning in. We are just going over some resident updates, having a little chat. Enrique just showed up, so if you see the tripod shaking around a bit, that is him rubbing on it. I don't know if he wants to say hi. Let me check. Hey, want to say hi to everybody? He doesn't always like getting picked up, but he is rubbing on the tripod, being really cute. Another update as of this morning, and I knew this was coming because when her kind of attitude and demeanor changes a little bit, I know that she's going to start laying again. So Norris has started laying eggs again as of this morning. That's her freshly laid egg right behind her. She chose that little spot behind the bale of shavings. Kramer was there protecting the area as well, so super cute. They've kind of bonded more recently, which means Norris is laying and she'll need an implant to stop her from laying. The constant stress of laying often results in reproductive disease, so we do hormonal implants to stop the laying hens, both ducks and chickens, from laying eggs, which really helps them out in the long run. So she has started laying again. A cute little egg this morning. We always check the health of the eggs, which tells us a lot about what's going on internally as well. So if there's unhealthy eggs, there might be something going on internally. Her egg looked amazing. And when she is laying and when she's not on her implant, when the implant has wore off, which it has, she gets a bit more friendly with us and she gets very hungry. When she is ovulating, when she's producing eggs, she is extra snacky. So she's been more cuddly recently and wanting lots of extra treats. So she's been laying. She will get a hormonal implant to stop her from laying. And she'll go about her normal business. Hi, Shannon. Thanks for tuning in. Hi, Helen from Montreal. Yes, Escalade needs the great outdoors. He is back out. We do have the opportunity of making his outdoor space smaller if we need to get him to move around less if he's sore again. But yeah, if you missed it at the very beginning, Escalade is back outside and he is a happy horse. BJ's out there with him too, and they are doing great. So that is great news for him. It is 24 degrees Celsius in Long Island. It is about the same here. That's the highest it's getting today, which is very nice. Yesterday the highest I got was 22 degrees Celsius and that was absolute heaven. I was very happy because it's just been so relentlessly hot here. We've had fans on constantly. We're constantly worrying about the pigs being comfortable and making sure their bogs are filled and everything. So it was a little bit less stressful the past few days. It is going to warm up again, but it's been a very intense summer so far. If you missed it on our Instagram stories, I did a little video of Oksana responding to her name being called, so I'm going to show it here. And I just want to talk about some residents do know their names. We get that question once in a while. So Oksana, you go in and say, Oksana, and she kind of pokes her head around the corner or she comes running. She knows her name. Ray knows his name. Brian definitely knows his name. So definitely a variety of residents do know their names and do respond to their names. So I'm going to show you the video here. So I went out to get Oksana. She has an injury on her left hip that we are treating twice a day right now. I think we're now down to once a day because it's healing up really nicely. So to do that, we put her in the chute area, which allows her to eat snacks and not worry about what we're doing back there. It's really helpful. So she goes in there, she's eating her snacks, we clean up her wound. So she's associated that with positivity and snacks. So when we call her name, she knows to come and get her treatment. This was me going to get her yesterday morning to get her treatment. Is Oksana available? Come on down. Good girl. Super cute, super smart girl. Yeah, you just say Oksana, she comes. Raymond, Ray, you call his name, he starts coming. So yeah, some of them do know their names and respond to their names, and that's kind of across the board. That includes pigs. Zoe, I need to get a video of her because she's recently learned her name, and when you call her name outside of the medical suite window where the caregiver station is in the main barn, she comes running over because then she goes up to the window and gets a Fig Newton. So Zoe's recently learned her name. I'm gonna try to get a video of that and post it because that is super cute. Sylvia says it's 21 in Montreal. That's delightful. I'm hoping everybody is enjoying the cooler temperatures because I definitely am. Recently, we bumped out some space in the hay barn for the pigs. So there's quite a large hay barn here at the property, which is amazing. At the other property, would store hay in the main barn above the residence in the loft. And this is away from the residence, and it's in a separate area that's covered, which is much safer. And that meant the pigs got a few open bales of hay, which they're all cuddled up in. You can see Oksana is on the one end and she's moving because she heard me coming and she thought it was time to get treatment. So there's Ray, Braxton, Malcolm, Ted, Jolene, and Oksana. And I don't know if there's somebody in the back. I don't think so. So they're all lined up. Super cute this morning. Really enjoying that space. I just like how they all were in a line. It was so cute. So they have a lot of different areas that they are enjoying, and this is one of them, and it gives them extra shade. Now that we've opened up that area, they have water out there, bedding, super comfy, and they get fed in the concrete area, which is just around the corner. So that's kind of their setup. And yesterday, Brian had his foot treatment, which I also posted on our Instagram stories, which meant he got a little walk around the barn and got to see everyone. This was right before we moved BJ and Escalade back to pasture, so Brian got to say hi to them. He was neighbors with them for about a week while they were on stall rest, so he got to see them kind of side by side. It was interesting to see him and the horses side by side, and BJ and Escalade were right between Sammy's herd and Brian and Sunny, so they were kind of got to interact with each other. So he got to go see the horses, he got to go on a little bit of a barn tour, and then he came back to the medical suite and we did a foot soak. Brian's having some issues with callousing on the bottom of his feet. He loves running and he's very active, but he's also a heavier bird. So there are a lot of the little points of pressure where his feet meet the ground on the joints underneath are starting to develop calluses that were getting very dry and causing some irritation. So Brian is getting those kind of sanded off. And he's also getting Epsom salt soak, which is really helpful. And he was really good for and very patient. So we're very proud of him. Those are the resident updates. We also have Diablo. I don't have a photo of him, but he's doing better. That herd kind of seemed to have passed around something to each other, and we still don't know what it is. But they were kind of sick one after the other. It started with George, then Angelo, and then Diablo. Diablo's taking the longest to recover, and he was doing better, but he got a bit of diarrhea again over the weekend, but he's still bright and active, which is good. Before, when he was really sick and had a fever, he wasn't really responding to us like he normally would. Didn't really have an appetite, so that's all back. We're just waiting for his stools to kind of firm up and be normal again until he can go back with his friends and go back outside grazing. So fingers crossed he's on the upward trajectory and continues to heal and continues to feel better. So thank you everyone for tuning in for all of the resident updates today. It was a really short one today. I have to go do some work on a few things, but it's really nice to see everybody here on Bear Care Corner, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. See you later. Bye.